Hello. Um, I decided since I haven't really had all that much to say, I've had a long weekend, that I would read some, some things that I found online, if I can set up my camera, that I would read some things I found online written by Muslim women about their hijab. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna read this one. This I found on a site called HijabGirl. And it was a contest winner named Neda. Neda, I think. Neda. Neda. I think Neda. It was her personal story about how she came to wear her hijab and what her inspiration was. Okay. This month marked 4 years since I started wearing my hijab. Some of you may have found this to be an abrupt change, considering you knew me all these years without it. If you were ever wondering why I suddenly decided to wear it at age 21, here's why. When I started UCLA, I was burnt out. I felt like I was the last person who was in control of my identity, and I became sick of it. I questioned everything, including my beliefs surrounding Islam. Luckily, in my anger and growing cynicism, led me to question more and learn as much about Islam, learn as much more about Islam, and most importantly, my own self. In this time, I learned more about Mary. We believe strongly in Jesus as a prophet, and Mary is one of the most respected women in Islam. She has her hair covered in every depiction of her, and kept it covered as a symbol of being humble to God. This is a woman I would love to be reminded of on a daily basis, her story, her high esteem. And then I thought, where are my own ideas about beauty coming from? Who is defining them? Am I the only one defining them? The way I'm dressing right now, the way I have my hair done, is this what I want? This may be okay for another woman, but is this what I really want to be about? Have you ever wondered why people go vegan sometimes instead of just vegetarian? It's often because they want nothing to do with the amount of animal cruelty that goes into milking cows or even collecting eggs. It is a powerful symbol as well as a lifestyle choice that represents a person's beliefs. Have you ever seen how women are now being sexualized to the core? Every function a woman does, even eating, is heavily sexualized and advertised. If a woman wants to partake in that, then it's her choice. But, like the vegan who wants nothing to do with something she finds morally distressing to her, I want nothing to do with such heavy objectification. To wear the hijab means that I am taking back what is mine, my standard of beauty, and owning the hell out of it. The hijab is a symbol for what I strongly believe in, and I now made a lifestyle choice out of it. Just like the vegan, it is my choice, and one that I find empowering. I am not claiming that my choice to wear a hijab is better than yours. I am only saying that it is the choice I made for myself, and that is what true feminism is, to define my own standards and my own lifestyle without claiming that this is the more free, liberated way of living your lifestyle. Wearing hijab is therefore the most feminist thing I've ever done. My hijab has provoked countless questions and conversations about Islam and why I chose to wear it, and has given me the opportunity to clear up so many misconceptions that the media has imposed on Islam. Hijab not only has allowed me to really understand what it means to be a feminist, but has also given me so many opportunities to educate and create awareness about another faith. It is the strength it gives me as a woman and as a community member that makes me want to continue wearing it for years to come. Now, that was interesting to me for multiple reasons. Partly as a feminist, you hear so much about feminism and Islam, and feminism and religion in general. Can you be a feminist and be religious? Can you be a feminist and be a Muslim? Can you be a feminist and wear a hijab? And I can't say, because I'm not a Muslim, this is a project, so my opinions would still be that of an outsider, and to be totally honest, I'm not sure where I stand on the issue. I think that I think that you do have a right to make that choice, and if you make a choice on your own accord, as Neda did in the thing I just read, then I respect that as a feminist. I respect any woman's right to choose how she defines herself and how she has herself, or how she comes off to the outside world. But is the hijab or the burqa or the niqab, can you be a feminist while wearing it? Or not while wearing it, but can the concept of it be compatible with feminism? Because the point of it is to cover up the woman, to cover up her hair, to cover her face, because, it's like, you don't want to come across as sexual and to tempt men, which I feel that puts the blame, or that puts a lot more on the woman in regards to responsibility of, if a man looks at a woman and he is tempted, is that her fault? Or is that his fault? Or is it nobody's fault? Like, is it wrong to look at a woman and say, oh, she's attractive? Is that wrong? Is it still objectification? Is it, and there's a lot of questions that I can't answer in a short few-minute video. And, I have mixed feelings about it, because obviously I don't think you should just view women as objects, but at the same time, it's human nature to look at a person and be attracted to them. Women look at men. Can a Muslim woman look at a Muslim man and say, oh, that's an attractive man that I see? Should he have to cover up as well? Because what if he is tempting her? What if a Muslim man is wearing tight pants? I don't know if you're even allowed to, but, what if a Muslim man is wearing tight pants and, a woman sees him and thinks, oh, that's a nice ass on him? Isn't that also being tempting? Aren't you still tempting her? And so, as, I can only speak from a feminist perspective and not a Muslim perspective, so I don't really feel that it's my place to say anything. Fortunately, I have a friend named Taslima Nasreen. A lot of people know who she is. A lot of people in the West don't, but she's a writer from Bangladesh who was actually kicked out of her country because of her writings about feminism and Islam. And she told me she was going to send me a thing to read about her opinions about the hijab and the burqa. And she does not agree with it. She is very against it. So I would also like to include her opinion, partly because I have a lot of respect for her as someone who's faced so much hell in her life, and she's had effigies burned of her. She's had a fatwa issued against her which, for those of you that don't know, a fatwa is essentially an Islamic law or an Islamic order that, you know, and it doesn't always have to be a death sentence. Like, for instance, recently a fatwa was issued regarding Syria, that people in Syria are allowed to now eat things that otherwise Islamic law does not allow them to eat because they're in a situation of desperation. And so a fatwa is not always a death sentence. It's not always a death order. It's just an Islamic law that's issued by someone who's really important in the Islamic community. I believe an imam or someone higher. I'm not 100% sure. But that's my sad, pitiful Western understanding of what it is. But she's had a fatwa issued against her from, I believe, numerous people. And so I'm going to be posting a video with her thoughts on the burqa and the hijab. She's written a lot about it. And regardless of whether I believe or agree with everything she says about it, that's irrelevant because, again, I speak from an outsider perspective. She was raised Muslim. She was raised in a Muslim community, and her feelings about Islam are a lot like my feelings about Christianity, where she was raised surrounded by Islam, and thus she suffered a great deal because of it. As I was raised surrounded by Christianity, I was raised in a very Christian home, and I was sent to a very Christian school, 3rd through 8th grade, and I suffered greatly because of a lot of emotional and spiritual abuse from the church, and being told that I was going to hell, and, you know, oh, well, the feelings that you have are wrong, and you're going to hell, and, you know, everything about you is sinful and evil, and God hates you, basically, and not in so many words, but more or less. So my anger and resentment at Christianity often stems from abuse at the hands of that religion. Whereas a lot of Taslima's anger, you know, she suffered at by Islam firsthand, so she's going to be a lot harsher against Islam and Muslims than someone like you or I would, that was raised in America or somewhere where we were not surrounded by it, and thus we were not having it imposed on us. You know, someone who's had a religion imposed on them, who doesn't agree with it, who finds a lot of things wrong with it, they're going to be a lot more of a harsh critic. So bear that in mind when I do a video about her, that her, you know, she's going to be a lot more critical of Islam than maybe I would be willing to be, because I haven't lived, you know, I haven't lived surrounded by it. I haven't had to suffer because of it, and she has. And she's had to suffer because of extremism, and had her book burned and banned, and had effigies burned of her, like, you know, being kicked out of her own country because of criticizing it. And so she's gonna send me some writings that she did about her opinions about the hijab and the burqa, and because, you know, she used to have to wear it, and she stopped. You know, I don't even think I have any pictures of her wearing it. I'm sure there are some, but all the pictures I have of her are from the last 20 years, and I haven't seen, or I don't have any of her wearing it, but she did, you know, she had to wear it like many, many women that were raised Muslim. So I am curious about her opinion on whether you can, well, also partly on what Neda says in the thing I just read about how wearing the hijab is the most feminist thing she's ever done. I think that's an interesting point, because it makes sense to me that she's saying, I reject your beauty standards. I reject the West's objectification of women. And why am I really doing this? Why am I really wearing my hair this way? Why am I really dressing this way? I'm rejecting that, and I'm doing what I think is right, what my belief says. And she's not saying, this is also what you have to do. She's saying, this is what I'm doing, because it goes against my morals. But if it doesn't go against yours, that's also your choice. And that, to me, is a really interesting, that's why I wanted to read it, because it brings up a good point. And so, I'm going to keep looking for other writing by women. I have a few other, but I didn't want to cram a bunch of different things into one video blog. Especially since some of them I would like to take a little bit of time to talk about. So, I will probably post later with some more, that's my dog whining, sorry. Lurky, stop. Stop scratching your ears. I guess Lurky wanted to have a say. Alright, bye.